Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to week 4 of Coalition League's summer split. I'm Random Minion Caster, and we're with the Silver Division tonight. We are week 4, so just past the halfway mark here, and this game is going to be HypE Esports versus Rawr Yordlez. On the blue side, it's HypE Esports with Rinks in the top lane, Non-Stop Brain in the jungle, Tommy Peppers in the mid lane, Epic Gamer ADC, and Fluff Get Smashed is the support here. On the red side, Rawr Yordlez with 2 E substitutions for tonight. We've got Mad Jack 20 in the top lane. The first E substitute, Snow Powder in the jungle. Mid laner, Duero, ADC, Odd Lanner, and another E sub for support, Codeine. Now, the last time these two teams met, it was back in week 1, and Yordlez won that one. In fact, Yordlez have been winning everything so far. They haven't dropped a single game, much less a series thus far in the Silver Division. So this will be the second time the teams aren't meeting up, and HypE is going to get first crack here in the second round at trying to take a game off of Rawr Yordlez. Now, because of the 2 E substitutes on the side of Rawr Yordlez, they are going to lose 3 bans here, and we're just going to hop straight into the pick and ban. So for HypE Esports, for bans, they're banning out the Galio, Leona, Set, Pantheon, and that last one is actually a Veigar ban. It's a mistake there. They did not miss a ban. That is a Veigar ban. So a lot of things targeted towards Duero there on the side of Yordlez. For Yordlez, they lose their first ban phase pretty much, and they're just going to ban 2 supports here. The Morgana and Thresh against Fluff Get Smashed. Now, in terms of picks for HypE Esports, they've selected a Xerath, a Mumu, Teemo, Vayne, and Lulu. So quite a few squishies here on their team. Really going to only have that one tank in the form of a Mumu for Non-Stop Brain. We'll have to be very, very careful about initiating the team fights there and making sure that their carries don't get picked off. On the side of Rawr Yordlez, they're going to go with the Syndra, Vi, Mordekaiser, Swain, and Fizz. And I'm really excited for this composition from Rawr Yordlez. We're seeing the Syndra most likely going to be in the bot lane once again. I believe, saw SFAG, or was it Imagine Wagons? I can't quite recall which one pull that out. Actually, it is Imagine Wagons, which pulled that back out in week 2 with a Syndra in the ADC position in that bot lane. And it made for an absolutely devastating kill lane. So we might see it again here in week 4 between Rawr and HypE. And that's a lot of AP on the side of Rawr Yordlez. They're only 80 damage, really going to come out of Snow Powder in the jungle there. So they do have to be careful that towards the late game, once HypE can start building some magic resistance, their team composition might really begin to fall off a little bit here. And on the side of HypE, though, they're going to have quite a difficult time in lane. I'm assuming the Mordekaiser will match off against the Teemo, and while Teemo does enjoy a ranged advantage, if Mordekaiser can grab him and drag him closer, that could be the end of the Teemo. In the mid lane, Xerath versus Fizz. Again, melee versus range. Xerath does have an advantage early, but once that Fizz hits 6, once Duero gets access to that Chum the Waters, we could see Tommy Peppers get popped repeatedly, and the jungler doesn't help that either, with Snow Powder picking that Vi. Vi getting a small buff this patch. The Vault Breaker cooldown was reduced here, so will be able to be used more frequently. So you might see a lot more ganks coming out of the jungle from the side of Rawr Yordlez. And in that bot lane, as I said before, Swain, Syndra, that will be a kill lane in the bot lane against a Vayne. No less. Epic Gamer going to struggle a lot trying to survive the burst that both of these champions can put out. Even with the wild growth from that Lulu, we'll have to see if that will be enough for now. In terms of team compositions, while I do favor the composition of HypE Esports, I just think they're going to have a really difficult time because of the way the individual lane matchups are going to go. And if HypE can get out of the laning phase and not be too far behind, I think they'll be just fine heading into its late game. Just need to build a little bit of magic resistance across the board, and they'll be in a very, very good position come the end here, especially with that hyper carry Vayne and the poke that Xerath can put down. On the other side, for Rawr Yordlez, they have to be aggressive early, and that won't be a problem. Yordlez definitely not a team to take it slow. They like to play fast and loose in the early game with really strong champions. So this is right up their alley, right up their playstyle. And I mean, even though I favor the composition of HypE Esports, I think I'm going to have to give the pick and ban phase here over the way of Rawr Yordlez, because I don't think HypE can actually get out of the laning phase unscathed. And with that, we are going to head right here onto Summoner's Rift right off the bat. And definitely not expecting an invade from the side of HypE Esports here. They don't have a lot of early CC. We are seeing a lot of pings coming down from the side of Rawr Yordlez, but Madjack not going to group up with the rest. It looks like just 4 members going to run down towards that bot side, potentially look for some deep vision through that tri-bush. And all of HypE is grouped together near their top side, so Yordlez might be able to get into the bush there. And Fluff is going to walk right into this. Will get rooted up. The damage coming down. Can they get it? Yes, they will. And that's first blood to Duero. Tommy Pepper's not going to be happy with this one here. With that, Duero just going to run back to base and spend that gold, 400 gold in his pocket right off the bat here. And that's the danger with not responding right away. To level 1 invades here, generally we do see the 5-man spread across the board, and everybody rushes to their designated spots to make sure that you don't have the enemy team sneak into any of these blind spots like what just happened there. If you are late to the party, then, well, you might just end up dead because you don't have the vision. And that's going to let Duero start with the Corrupting Pot as well as the Dark Seal here. That's going to be very, very good for him. Additional sustain in lane, which is going to be massive against that Xerath. Not to mention the slightest of EXP leads, which can make a difference because at level 2, Duero can look for engages. Level 3 will be when he gets the burst, especially with that Electrocute as well. And Tommy Peppers opting to run Barrier here on that Xerath. So we'll have a bit more defensive summoners there, but we'll have to see if that's better than, say, a teleport or an exhaust against the assassin that is Fizz. And top lane, Ring's opting to take the exhaust rather than the teleport as well. So there will be a teleport advantage on the side of Rawr Yordlez. Madjack probably not needing to take any combat summoners there. Mordekaiser, once he hits 6, should have a fairly good time against that Teemo. And even now, we already see him aggressively going in at level 2, looking to put that damage down, but he has to be careful. He is taking a lot of damage from that minions. The Conqueror proc finally starting up there, and he will be able to heal up a little bit from those minions. Conqueror has been changed a little bit, but it won't matter too much for Mordekaiser. It does take more stacks now. Maximum 12 stack versus the old 10 stack. The damage at maximum stacks is the same, but basically, it just takes a little longer to stack, but with the shield, with all the burn there from Madjack, it will not be too much harder for him to stack it on the Mordekaiser. And now we do see Snow Powder coming up. Will run right into Rings. Will force the flash out very early from Rings, and Rings going to have to be careful for that next little while there. Snow Powder just really quick clear, just from buff to buff, and ran straight up for that gank. Now bot lane, we do see the stun coming out, the root as well. The cleanse coming out from Epic Gamer, but it's a little slow. And now mid lane, the Vault Breaker coming across will not catch Tommy Peppers, but that's still a good chunk of damage. And with that Fizz, with the Ignite and Electrocute, Tommy Peppers has to be careful. If he gets jumped on, he could easily get popped here in the early levels. We're just absolutely dominating that mid lane right now. Has the Corrupting Pots, only used 1 stack of it so far, and he's got the wave in a really good position for himself. Tommy Peppers has to overextend. Does have to ward up the river though, so will be able to spot Snow Powder coming in from that top side. And speaking of Snow Powder is actually invading here into the jungle, grabbing a Mumu's jungle. And meanwhile, while that's happening, Nonstop Brain was on the bot side here. Was looking to see if maybe he could get a gank potentially. Will not find it though. And now mid lane, the Vault Breaker does connect this time. Tommy Peppers does not have flash, and that's an easy pickup for Duero once again. This is going to be an absolutely brutal start for that mid lane. Tommy Peppers needed to be able to stay even a little bit. If you let an assassin get ahead, you might just get crushed there. He's not even level 6 yet. Now bot lane, Odd Lander looking for a kill. Heal going to come out of Epic Gamer here, as well as from Odd Lander, pardon me. Will go down to Epic Gamer, and it's going to be Coding picking up the return kill. So it's a 1-for-1 in that bot lane right now. But things are only going to get worse as Oddlander hit 6 will have access to the Unleashed power as well. Just right now, things quite going the way of Rawr Yordlez, and again, fully expect they're a very aggressive team. They like to fight, like to get kills, and like to exert their dominance here. And with their lineup, they have the more powerful early jungler with that Vi into Nonstop Brain's Amumu there. And their lane matchups are favorable as well, so definitely going to be a rough time here for HypE Esports. Then their biggest test is yet to come, as the solo laners will be hitting 6 really soon. And that's the hardest point here for the side of HypE Esports when the ultimates come online here for Rawr Yordlez. And Snow Powder just clearing up the vision around that Drake. That first Drake is going to be Ocean Drake, that most valuable of Drakes early. Mid lane, Chum the Waters comes out from Duero. Tommy Pepper's not yet 6. He's looking for the kill. Ignite was used. He's just going to dash in, tank the turret for a bit. 3 shots brings him down to 40%. But he does manage to kill Tommy Peppers once again. And Tommy Pepper's opting for that barrier, will not be able to just run back to lane. Now in the top, Nonstop Brain looking for a gank. He goes down, and that gives level 6 to Mad Jack as well. So Ring's going to have to be really careful with the ultimate unlocked already onto Mad Jack. And while that was happening to Snow Powder was taking that first Drake, that's going to be Ocean Drake as well. And his laners are going to be extremely glad for that. A lot of the lanes on the side of HypE Esports, they do rely on getting a bunch of poke down before they can engage. But with that Ocean Drake, a lot of the poke coming up from the Xerath, from the Teemo, going to be nullified here. So their laning phase is going to be absolutely brutal. And if you are the side of HypE Esports, you're going to be looking here at Nonstop Brain, at Fluff Get Smashed to start to get roaming and trying to find leads elsewhere. Or Tommy Peppers unlocking level 6, getting that Arcane Barrage so that he can assist the other lanes. Because right now, I don't think any lane is going to be able to win on their own. And bot lane, we do see Snow Powder here sneaking behind. Does have the pink ward, will know that he's safe to come in, but just going to walk back out, not looking for anything. And the bot laner is soon to hit 6 as well. Mid lane, Duero, rinse and repeat. Chum the Waters comes out. He goes in, and that's a kill. He's already got the Hextech revolver built. And Tommy Pepper still no defensive items whatsoever. That Dark Seal definitely not going to pay dividends anytime soon for Tommy Peppers here. And Duero is 4-0 right now. 2/3 of his team's kills, and almost all of it solo except for that first blood. And now Duero catching out Nonstop Brain a little bit, but the Scuttle speed boost there will let Nonstop Brain get to safety. He's only level 5, has not unlocked Curse of the Sad Mummy yet, so definitely not wanting to pick this fight 1v1 yet. Lots of missing pings coming out here, and they might be collapsing onto Snow Powder. Snow Powder has to be careful. Gonna take the Vault Breaker, will go onto Tommy Peppers, and Duero was there, but this could be a 4v2. The Assault and Battery comes out. Snow Powder finds one. It's gonna flash away. There is a ward in the bush, so they're gonna continue chasing, and that is a Bane chasing as well. With the movement speed buff, Oddlander and Coding have arrived. But can the backup be enough? Yes, the Unleashed power comes across. Epic Gamer gonna get wiped here. Now Fluff gets smashed, running for the hills. Chum the Waters not available. None of the CC spells are, and Fluff Get Smashed will be able to limp away for now. One thing to note is there is no exhaust on Fluff Get Smashed. He opted for the heal and didn't use it there. Might potentially have been able to save Epic Gamer. It's a little difficult to tell with the burst that can come out of a Syndra, but it was not used. So that kill going over to Oddlander from Epic Gamer's dead cold body. That brings the score to 8-1, and this is what we feared. It's about to become 9-1. A beautiful troll pull over that stun, and Tommy Peppers will go down here. No ignite, no flash needed at all. Only tanking the one turret shot. Duero is becoming unstoppable here. And the pace of the game is just way too fast right now. 3,500 gold lead on the side of Rawr Rampage before 10 minutes. The mid laner completely just unstoppable right now. Non-Stop Brain can't stop him. Tommy Peppers can't stop him. I'm not sure they could handle him even if they weren't together. And Fizz is one of the most slippery mids to try and gank here. As long as the Troll is available, it's going to be nigh impossible to catch him. That playful trickster, the bread and butter of a good Fizz. Well, HypE Esports does have the potential to have a really solid late game with that Vayne, with the tanky Amumu. It might not be enough if Duero can just dive Epic Gamer at will. Duero did upgrade his Dark Seal into a Magi's Soul Stealer here. Already had the fully stacked Dark Seal. And that's just going to mean bad news for everyone here. If he continues to get kills, Tommy Pepper is not worth a lot of gold right now. He has died 5 continuous times, but his stacks are as good as ever here. It doesn't matter how many times he died. A kill is still 4 stacks for that Magi's Soul Stealer. And in that top lane, Ring's doing well on the Teemo so far. Did manage to find himself a little bit of a lead here against Majak, paying that tax right away. And mid lane, once again, getting popped. Tommy Pepper's down for the 6th time in a row here. Duero picking that one up, and they did get the Herald before that, so Snow Powder is going to drop it right away. Now top lane, we're talking about Rings. He was doing well for himself, but it looks like he will be able to get up the Death Realm, taking a lot of damage, but will not go down. And right now, that's a win for HypE to just not die here. Epic Gamer taking a little burst of damage as he gets knocked up by the Claw. Will be able to get out. The Unleashed power not going to come out just yet. They weren't sure they had quite enough damage, but does have to be careful. If he gets stunned up by Outlander, Epic Gamer might go down here. And as if on clockwork, Snow Powder instantly rotating to that dragon as soon as it spawns, picks up the Inferno for the team. That's 2 Drakes now, increased damage and increased survivability in lane, increased regeneration here. Epic Gamer might go down. That last second wild growth from Fluff gets smashed to keep him alive. That's absolutely massive, but the Demonic Ascension and the Ignite, the shield keeps him alive. Duero though showing up on the backline. He's now godlike as he dives that Tara. Finds a kill again, and now Tommy Peppers resetting his gold value as he manages to catch Outlander with the Arcade Barrage. And this Syndra from Outlander not necessarily enjoying the best of laning right now. I thought he would have had a bit more success, but it doesn't even matter because Duero is always there to clean up as well. He's 7-0 and 18 stacks on that Magi's already, trying to set a record here for most stacks for fully for the fastest fully stacked Magi's, it looks like. And we saw how fast he can melt people down, even with Fluff get smashed, even with the heal, with the shield. Epic Gamer can still get 100-0 one-shotted here by Duero. That bot lane was the one bright shining spot for HypE Esports before this. They were doing pretty well actually. Epic Gamer able to farm up quite decently there, trading in, able to chase down and get some damage onto Outlander and Codeine. But after that, they do have to be careful because Outlander now has completed his first item. It's the Luden's Echo coming out for burst and poke, and now Epic Gamer gets the knock up, but knock back, but not the stun, and the Assault and Battery will come across. Epic Gamer just going to get busted down here, and Duero now diving under the turret, complete, does not care. Will get the stun up. Duero going to take some damage, but has this retreat there secured by Snow Powder, who just picked up Epic Gamer as well. And right now, if you are HypE Esports, it's 2-13. It's 14 minutes into the game. It's a little early to call it, but it certainly is going to be an uphill climb to try and get back into the game here. And they just need to stabilize things first and foremost, because right now they don't have a single stable lane. Rink's right now the most stable, but he's slowly losing ground here. Still up CS, and now with Duero and Snow Powder roaming up, might not last at all. Duero looking for the kill. Can he find Rinks? The exhaust gonna come down. He has to be careful. Gonna take poison here, and the Arcane Barrage coming across, but Majak shows up. They get the double there with that dive from Majak. And the Arcane Barrage not finding Duero. He's a slippery fish there. will get out alive, and that's 2-0 in that top lane, extending the lead even further right now. But for all the kills that are coming down, Rawr Yordlez will only now at 15 minutes or just shy of that finally get their first turret of the game. They managed to get the bot one shortly before this, and they rotate Oddlander and Codeine up to the mid lane as well. They want to try and crack all the outers as quickly as they can. And they succeed here, tanking up a turret shot or two, and that'll be just fine. And Epic Gamer Fluff gets smashed, trying to apply some damage on that bot lane turret, but there's no more plates to be had. So that damage they're putting down will not be anything meaningful in the short term unless they can get the entirety of that turret down. And with all these outer turrets down for the side of HypE Esports, they will have to be careful where they send their squishy carries to, where Tommy Peppers and Epic Gamer end up, because if they're too far out, Duero could just show up and pop them. And we take a quick look at the vision here. The bot side has quite a few wards, is a bit safe. The top side is basically a mushroom farm as well, courtesy of Rinks. So the top side will be safe for the next little while till those mushrooms expire. And we take a quick look on the side of Rawr Yordlez. Their vision concentrated mostly in the river. Mad Jack looking like he's trying to solo the Herald here. And the Drake will be coming up in about 35 seconds. Mad Jack does not have teleport available yet, so will not be able to join his team. And now Chum the Waters comes out. Duero finds Non-Stop Brain. He's going to get busted down. They're going to donate that kill over the way of Snow Powder instead right now. And now Rinks poking his head in. Will get dragged into the death realm, but a quick QSS going to get him safe. And now Mad Jack has to be careful. They're fighting for this Herald here. Arcane Barrage coming across, and it gets stolen by Tommy Peppers. And they're going to trade Rinks' life over for that, but Rinks does manage to pick up the eye of the Herald, and that's going to be a win for HypE Esports right now, that they managed to steal that Herald. I don't think they're going to be able to do the same with this Drake here, though, unfortunately. And that's going to be Mountain Drake. Third Drake going the way of Rawr Yordlez before 20 minutes here. They're already at soul point so early on. It will be a Mountain Soul, so shields for them. And normally, I'm personally not a huge fan of Mountain Soul, much less on a team without a ton of tanks, but it will give them survivability. And that's key, to not give those huge bounties over, to keep that fully stacked Medjais here from Duero. He fully stacked that within 20 minutes. That's absolutely incredible. Salt and Battery coming across. They will find Fluff get smashed, but Snow Powder gonna go down, and that's one of the bounties going over. 450 gold bounty going to Rinks here. And while they are very far ahead, they do have to be careful about handing those bounties over. There's still a 700 gold bounty on Duero. Another 450 golds onto Mad Jack here. And they're just gonna stop pushing for now. One thing to note for the side of Rawr Yordlez is that they will struggle to siege up turrets a little bit here. They don't have a traditional ranged AD carry to output damage down the top lane. Mad Jack and Non-Stop Brain collapse. Mad Jack getting collapsed on, by Non-Stop Brain, and Epic Gamer. Rinks showing up as well. Rinks gonna drop the Herald there, and I believe that was a mistake on his part. Looked like he was just trying to ward up the blue buff there, and so Shelly gonna be dropped real early here. Might work out though. Nobody's responding to Shelly pushing up the top wave, and Epic Gamer is gonna shove that one in here. Mad Jack gonna go back to base, and Epic Gamer, despite being 1-5-1 right now, despite being down only actually about 800 gold, not too bad, is doing a lot of work. We saw him push out Outlander, but Fluff gets smashed, getting caught out here. The Ignite taking down a beautiful last second shield, really well timed from him, will keep him alive, and Codeine not going to be able to pick up that kill there for now. Despite how one-sided the scoreline is right now, 19-3, I was just saying that Rawr Yordlez is going to have problems pushing in. Not only do they not have that range 80 carry to get damage on the turret from safety, they also actually lack a bit of poke and range here. Going to rely very heavily on Oddlander to get poke down under these turrets. They do have dive ability though. As soon as they see a low health target, Duero will be more than happy to get in there. And now Epic Gamer coming in. Has to be careful. There's so much single target CZ. Assault and Battery coming out. He will have to flash himself to safety, but Codeine going in with that Demonic Ascension does have the stopwatch available as well. Unleash Power going on Rings will not find the damage. Now Duero has to be careful. He jumped into the middle of 4. He has not a lot of defensive items here at this point in time. Might go down, and after all of that, HypE able to survive, coming out 0 for 0, and that's a win for HypE there, considering how it looked like Epic Gamer might have gotten caught out. But despite not losing anyone on that trade, they do end up losing that top turret to MadJack here, who wasn't really present in that last fight. Opted to continue pushing that top wave, and that's super valuable here for the side of Rawr Yordlez. Every turret they can get is going to be absolutely massive for them, and once again, MadJack getting collapsed on by 2. Going to drag Nonstop Brain into death row. Nonstop Brain not having paid the QSS tax yet. And we do see Snow Powder and Duero showing up. Snow Powder going to pick up that one up again as they take Rings down now this time. And HypE just doesn't seem to have a plan to really come back. They're just trying to catch out individual targets right now, but it's leaving people isolated. Tommy Peppers here having to just flash over the wall to keep himself safe, and that means that they will be able to get for themselves that mid lane inner turret, and suddenly only the base turrets left for the side of Rawr Yordlez. It's actually only 21 minutes into the game, so it's actually fairly early on to be sieging up that base here, but it feels like it's been so much longer because of all the action we've been seeing. Rawr Yordlez is constantly going in. They don't always find kills. It's certainly not the highest kill counts we've seen. There have been games where we've exceeded 1 kill a minute right now, and Rawr Yordlez is just a little bit behind that. 21 kills at about 22 minutes here, but it's just the way it's been so one-sided, and the way Duero especially has just been popping off. Snow Powder as well, able to find a lot of targets, and this is the strength of this composition here. They can easily isolate, single out a target, take them out. And right now, that target is Epic Gamer. And it looks like on the side of HypE Esports, they're making a desperate decision. They're going to try and sneak the Baron. And this is a ballsy play, but it might just be the one they need to do. And Rawr Yordlez have no vision of it. They have no clue. They went for the soul point for the soul here with the mountain soul. And they still don't know that there's not... that Baron is gone. They've finally realized Baron is gone. Well played from HypE Esports, trying to fire back. Just as I said, they had no plan. They go ahead and prove me wrong. They sneak the Baron, and that was an excellent choice. And for now, they'll just have to defend up their base. The Baron's going to be able to buy them quite a bit of time, and just the inherent gold in taking down that huge neutral objective there will help their team as well come back a little bit for now. But now that there are no major neutral objectives on the map, what is HypE going to do? Because Rawr Yordlez splitting with the 1-3-1 right now. They sent Duero up top, and no one can handle Duero. Look at how far out Tommy Peppers has to be. He's not even on the same screen as Duero right now. Chum the Waters coming, of course, will land onto Rings. The cleanse, the QSS not going to properly get rid of Chum the Waters. I think it was a little too late there. And Snow Powder just diving in with the flash, assault and battery. They find a kill for themselves. And that leaves Oddlander and Codeine free to continue pushing that mid wave. MadJack as well in that bot lane. Going to shove this one in. Look for that last inner turret as well. Really, aside from those couple of kills, HypE doesn't really have a lot to their name right now. This Baron buff is not been used all that effectively defensively, because that Baron buff actually does make it such that Rawr Yordlez can't push very well. They're mostly AP champions, and the Baron buff reduces magic damage taken by minions there. And they just didn't send anyone to deal with MadJack because their base was just under siege way too heavily. When Rings went down, that was a problem. Now Demonic Ascension coming out from Codeine. Still has that stopwatch, was not used in the last fight here. And they're going to chase after Oddlander. Epic Gamer looking for kills here. He will be able to find Codeine. The stopwatch doesn't go up. Now he's going after after Oddlander here. Can he find? No, he can't, because he gets dragged into the death round by Madjack, and Madjack couldn't be able to take him out. That shield taking down Juro in the backline, looking for stuff get smashed, but it's going to be Snow Powder once again picking that one up. And in that fight, Nonstop Brain dropped early as well. He was deep into it, and that's going to be a 3-for-1 for now for the side of Rawr Yordlez. And they are not messing around. Rinks has to be careful. QSS is still available, but the damage from Duero, that QSS is not going to save you. They don't need the CC, they just need damage. And that's the first inhibitor turret crack, the first inhibitor as well. And that is going to be a huge gaping hole in the side of HypE Esports defense here. Once that's down, it's going to be so much easier to siege up the other lanes for the side of Rawr Yordlez. They'll have super minions pushing in as well. And by the time that inhibitor respawns, Elder Drake and Baron are both going to be on the table. And Rawr Yordlez really doesn't need, just needs one of them to break the base wide open, or to end the game really at this point. But after that massive push, we do see Rawr Yordlez going back to base, spending some of that hard-earned gold because they're so far ahead. And Duero, even scarier now, has the Lich Bane completed with a fully stacked, 25 stacked Magi Soul Stealer. He can probably one-shot the carries here for the side of HypE Esports, and we do see Snow Powder going in. The Southern Battery comes across, will be able to find Epic Gamer here, is kind of low, will be able to dodge out for now, but has to be careful. Arcane Barrage coming across. It's going to be the poison from Rinks going to take him down. Coding aggressively going in as well, has the Monet Ascension taking, but he has no one else with him. Outlander really far behind. Duero was just waiting for his cooldowns to come back up. And they're just going to disengage this one for now because Coding took a lot of damage there. And while that was happening, Madjack pushing top. But oddly enough, he's just going to decide to base here. He's not going to push it all the way in instead. He wanted to go back to pick himself up. The adaptive helm there will help a lot with Rinks' damage on that Teemo. A lot of repeat ticking damage over time from those shrooms, from the poison darts there. So will make it a lot harder for Rinks here to start trying to 1v1 him. He already has the 2 levels up with the adaptive helm, with the Liandry's and Rylai's as well. Can't just run in. And Rinks on the other hand, only sitting on the Nashor's too, did not complete the Liandry's yet because he had to take a pit stop there to pick himself up the QSS. And speaking of the items here, we look across, the only person on the side of HypE Esports to have completed 2 major items is going to be Epic Gamer. The Blade of the Ruined King, the Wit's End there, but no QSS tax paid. And we saw in the last fight, Madjack can happily take Epic Gamer with him on a whole new world adventure there. And in that death realm, there's nowhere for Epic Gamer to go. He can just get beaten down by that mace. HypE Esports mounting incredible defense thus far, considering how far behind they've been all game. We're almost at 30 minutes here. Now top side, Madjack getting collapsed on, but he's using that ultimate, trying to gank a Mordekaiser. Gets very difficult in the end game. Using it once more on Nonstop Brain, and he should be able to pick up this kill here. He's going to trade at least 1-for-1. Will ultimately go down, but he's bought some time. Let's see what his team can do with that. Duero still pushing that bot wave in. Did not manage to get his wave into the turret in time, and now Tommy Pepper's there to force him back off. The rest of the team, though, going for that Elder Drake. And there's absolutely nothing HypE Esports can do to contest. They have no vision outside their base pretty much right now. But Duero getting corralled here. Did get knocked back. Can he survive? Arcane Barrage going to come across. The Tropo, Playful Trickster. Well played, but not going to be enough. That last shot from the Arcane Barrage shuts him down. 700 gold bounty going the way of Tommy Peppers once again. The American sniper there, and there's a ton of stacks going to be dropped from Duero as well. Losing 10 stacks per death there. From 25 to 15, that's going to be absolutely massive drop in AP for him. And each stack there worth about 5 ability power, so he's gonna have lost 50 AP from that one death there. Once again, Coding pushing in here with the team. Outlander not really able to get the damage down. We see the stopwatch finally being used for Codeine there to heal himself up. Gets the root down, will pop for the supernova damage, will get Epic Gamer that he finally goes down, and they've got Fluff get smashed as well. Rings the next target and non-stop raid. Only Tommy Pepper's left alive, but for how much longer? The grab back is sound, but the stun comes out, will not be enough. That's a double kill for Mad Jack, an ace for Rawr Yordlez, and this could very well be the game here. Leonard opting to go back to base. No, just flexing a little bit with that recall animation. Mad Jack focus on those turrets. Both are down now, and it's now the Nexus exposed. Nobody going to be up for the next 10 seconds for HypE Esports. The inhibitor respawn, and they're going to have to stop the Nexus take for a little bit, but Duero's there. That Lich Bane and the additional damage from the Banshee's more than enough to shred it down. They're looking to pad that KDA, looking for kills, but Snow Powder gonna get tanked up by the turret for a little bit, by the fountain itself, pardon me, for a little bit, take some damage, but ultimately they finally do end the game at 30.5 minutes there. 33 to 8 kills in an absolute slaughter by Rawr Yordlez, and really at this point, what is there to say here? Just look at the score lines. 9-1 and 3 for Mad Jack, 10-2 and 8 for Snow Powder, 11-1 and 8 for Duero. The bot lane here, the least kills for Oddlander and Codeine, 2-2 and 9, 1-2 and 12. And so from the side of Rawr Yordlez, amazingly well played game. Their bot lane not quite living up to its full potential, but hey, that's fine. Sometimes it's okay to get carried by the rest of your team here. And on the side of HypE Esports here, they did have an extremely rough game. We can see both the carries, 2-8 and 3 for Tommy Peppers, 4-8 and 3 for Epic Gamer here, and they did try and fire back best they could within the confines of their composition, but I do think this one came down to a compositional a draft sort of error here for the team. Just too many squishies, and they needed time to scale up, and against Rawr Yordlez, a team like that who goes ham straight away, pedal to the metal from the very beginning, you can't afford to have too many weak lanes here for themselves and a weak jungler as well. I think going into game 2 here, HypE Esports just needs to reset their mental and drop stronger lanes or a very aggressive early jungler, something like an Elise, a Graves, a Nidalee, something to just help the lanes out so they don't fall too far behind. And with that, we are going to head straight into an intermission so that we can get set up for game 2, and hopefully we'll be back in a very short moment here.